Jesmond. We've come to the festival launch, which is happening on Saturday. We've come to speak to a few of the key people that are involved in the running and organising of the festival, and hopefully the Lord Mayor as well.
Oh, yay! Thank you, I need all the help I can get. Welcome to the launch of the 2011 Jesmond Community Festival today. Our thanks for the venue for this magnificent launch to the new Northumbria Hotel. And of course thank you to all of the sponsors of the festival and everyone who supports it so well. Starting with the grand parade from St George's Green on Saturday, the 19th of March at noon. Truly, that will be a sight to be seen. With vintage car and carnival float, musicians, dancers, entertainers of note. An open stage on Acorn Road with more entertainment for young, middling and old. To West Jesmond School, to browse many a stall. There'll be books, jam and refreshments as well in St Hilda's Church Hall. 2 whole weeks, that's 3 weekends. Enjoy the events and bring your friends. Walking and singing, concerts galore, music, dancing, baking, gardening and more. Try a new sport, go out and about, or just sit back and be entertained. You will, there's no doubt. Pick up a programme, make sure it is seen, and enjoy our festival. God save the Queen.
Well, when I first started, the idea was initially to involve all the community around here. So it was going to be the schools, the swimming pool, the library, the churches, basically all the community organisations, the scouts, the guides, and get them to evolve, from the grassroots up, what they can actually contribute themselves to the festival, what they would like to do. So rather than me saying, this is what your festival is, we're going to plonk this on you, get the ideas from them and let them develop those ideas. So it started for the last 4 years, it was basically just a 2-day festival, that's all. But then, I think largely through the parade, which is a very high profile thing, makes lots of noise. We've got over 100 drummers bashing away and pan pipes and all sorts of things. And with that, with the high profile of the parade, eventually more and more people, like the businesses, like Tesco's, have only just joined us now for the first time in 7 years. Tesco's are on board. And everybody else has come in, so it's now a 2-week festival, so it's gone from 2 days to 2 weeks. And all the organisations, the colleges, all the social groups, the gardening society, the Friends of Jesmond Dean, everybody's involved in it. So that's the way I wanted it to grow, because then you get the support of the community, and once you get the support of the community, then the festival will just flourish. If you don't have the support of the community, you're wasting your time.
Has there been anything that's been harder this year because it goes over much
2 weeks? No, because basically all the various groups run their own events. Apart from the youth group for the youth bands, the young bands, which there's not very many outlets for, they started at the Masons, and then they moved to the cricket club, because they've just got bigger and bigger, more and more bands. Now they're at the university, because it's just got so big.
And what are you most looking forward to this?
Well, the parade is always the high point.
Obviously.
Yeah, obviously. Because it's easier.
What do you do in the parade?
Generally do circus skills, so it varies. Hoops are my main thing personally, but it depends. If I'm with my team, there's different things that they do, so it might be things like poi, but this year we're doing hoops. We're ready for good weather, but we're also prepared for the bad weather, so we're going to be doing some fire hooping when we actually get to the school at the end of the procession. But during the procession we're going to be hooping and dancing and kind of joining in with the music that we'll be playing throughout. So yeah, but we've worked with Chris for a few years now. So.
Yes,
much bigger and better this year.
It just has grown. Well, it's important to have a community, because communities have history and tradition. and to keep those going. But also, it's very important. It's like meet your neighbour. You sort of live next to people all the time, and especially in Jesmond. There's such a fluid community of students, a massive community of students, and there's not a great deal of sense of community. And the festival itself does actually engender that sense of community and brings people together. And you meet your neighbours and you get on, and a lot of initiatives come out of it, like people doing the back lanes with plants and flowers and making the back lanes sociable meeting places, which is just very good for security reasons for a start, because it's secure when there's people walking about your back lanes and they're not dirty and whatever, and all the families are using the back lanes. So a lot of good things come out of that sense of community, and it's engendered, and the focal point is the festival. Plus you get the various groups, like the Brownies are making flags and decorations for the festival, and it's the high point of the year, so they've put these courses, these things in place, like African djembe drummers at West Jesmond have been practicing all year to play in the parade. You know, so it's very good. It brings its cohesion. Brings everybody together.
Particularly in this day and age when you've got so much is online now, and people maybe don't spend as much time, like everyone's Facebooking things, which is great, and it's been really good in terms of promoting the event. But I think it's really nice when you get a community, whereas, because Jesmond's actually essentially not that big, but like you say, with the students and with people kind of feeling quite separate, it's a really nice way of bringing people together and creating that kind of community feel, and people getting to know what's going on, getting involved in more, and obviously it's just kind of putting something back into the area and bringing people together in a really kind of healthy and sort of positive way, really supporting local sort of businesses and communities and projects in the same place.
Considering the number of people who have turned out to see the opening today, we appreciate the amount of work that's gone into arranging and working for the Jesmond Festival. But this has gone on over 7 years, and it's increased over the years. And I think the activities and the input from the local community speaks volumes.
Well, we're really delighted over the years that we've got more and more community groups who want to take part in the festival. So although a lot of the core things like the parade and so on will do well, what we're really delighted is the number of other people that want to take part and arrange events and do new things that we've not done before. A lot of groups in Jesmond and people in Jesmond feel very isolated, and they don't know each other, or they don't know what other people are doing. And I think one of the benefits of the festival is it can break down barriers a bit, so that the different groups get to know each other. I mean, for example, the students are organising something at the British Legion. Well, sometimes, you wouldn't necessarily think that students in the Royal British Legion are natural partners, but I think it's really good if people get to know each other and use the different facilities.
Is there anything you're really looking forward to going to see or listen to?
Well, I always enjoy the parade. I think the parade is fantastic, partly because it sort of breaks out of all the rooms, and things that happen in specific buildings, you always sort of close the door and that's it. Whereas with the parade, very much it's out in the open. There's lots of people taking involved, people who can see something's going on, so I always enjoy that. But I think also some of the choral concerts, the standard of the performances is just fantastic, and there's such a lot of talented people around, and I probably wouldn't normally bother to go and see them, quite honestly, but the standard is so high. And when it's going on in your own area, in many cases for free, it's just fantastic to see all the talented people. I think there are a lot of community groups who don't have the confidence to do things. Particularly over the last 6 or 7 years, there's more people in Jesmond who've got the confidence to do things like this. But, I mean, for example, I had a meeting a week or two ago with a lady from Heaton who was interested in developing the Heaton Festival, and we already have good contacts with Ousburn. We've had discussions with Biker. I think people need a little bit of encouragement that it's not that difficult, and I think it's a great thing.